Hello everyone, my name is Kike. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new to my channel, kindly subscribe, share and like my video. In today's tutorial, I'll be learning how to make this beautiful and stylish Bubu dress with sequins. The name of the fabric I'll be using is Mikado. Okay, so I got 3.5 yards and I will be folding the length is by 60, so I'll be folding the length into two like you see me doing in the video. I will use iron to press it because Mikado is very hard. So after I'm done ironing everything into two, then I will fold it over again in such a way that I'm going to have 4 layers together. Okay, so I'll be having one folded part for the front and the other part will be for the back. I'll go ahead and start my markings. So the first thing you see me doing is taking my neck width, which is 3.5 inches, then taking the neck depth. My neck depth for the back is 1.5 inches and for the front I marked 7 inches. Okay, so I'm connecting the back like so, and then I will be cross-checking my front neck depth, and at that point I'll be marking 1 inch as the distance, because you know the neckline is a V shape but it's not a sharp V. So after that 1 inch I'll be connecting my neck depth to that 1 inch point on the 7 inches neck depth I measured. So after that I'll be taking my hip length. My hip point is 25 inches and then I'll be marking it. So after marking that, I'll go ahead to take my sleeve length. The sleeve length I used in this video is 28 inches, and then I'll come down and measure my round arm, which is 17 inches, and also at that point I will confirm my 28 inches so that I can connect them together like you see me doing. I'll go ahead and confirm the 25 inches for my hip depth that I took the other time, and then connect to the initial marking I did just the way you see me doing. And then I'm also taking my full length. The full length of the gown is 60 inches, and then I'll be adding 2 inches for hemming. The next thing I will be doing is to take my hip circumference. Okay, so I'll be marking my hip measurement plus extra 5 inches just to give me the fullness I want. I'll also mark the same thing I did on my hip line. I'll also mark it at the end part of my clothes and connect them together. So after connecting, I'll connect that point to my sleeve side just the way you see me doing, just to connect with a little curve, and then I can cut now. Then I'll go ahead to cut, and after cutting I'm going to separate them in such a way that I have the back folded differently from the front. Okay, and lay it flat on the table so that I can be able to cut out my front neckline. I'm trying to confirm the 7 inches depth for my front neckline, then I'll cut it off. So after cutting it off, the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut my facing. So the remaining parts of the Mikado, those parts I cut out from the hip side, I will just fold them into two and cut out my facing. I'll iron them to fold them into two and place it under the main clothes I cut. I'll place them under the main clothes so that I can trace out the neckline and cut out the facing. So I'll be cutting out the neckline just the way I'm showing you in this video. Then the next thing I'll be doing is to add 3 inches around the facing and cut out. But because I was a little scared, I don't want to ruin my clothes, I had to remove the pin and then cut the facing. So I'll be cutting it round. You know, the 3 inches is round, so I'll be cutting the facing, and so guys see my facing. The next thing I'll be doing now is to bring out my sequins. I've gone ahead to add paper gum on the sequins because I don't want it to stress me. I don't want it to be stretching unnecessarily. So I've added paper gum on the sequins, and now I went ahead to mark 16 inches, which is my half length, because I want the sequins in front to be up to my waist part. So I'll be putting that folded part on the shoulder on that 16 inches marking I did, and then make sure both my mikado and the sequins are matching up in both center front and center back, so they have to relax. I had to use pin to hold them together so that it won't shake, and see as I'm arranging them to match up. And then go ahead to cut out the neckline. Okay, so after cutting the neckline, I will be removing the pins so that I can trace out the shape I want. So it's at this point I can decide to give it any shape I want. So for the back, I just want a round shape, so I'm marking 3.5 inches round, because remember I will also use half inch to fold the sequins neatly. And then at the side, at that shoulder point, I'm marking 4 inches and connecting into the back. And then in front, just the way I've already told you guys, I'm doing 16 inches from that shoulder part, because I want it to reach my waist. And then the shape I'm giving the front is like a V shape. Okay, so I'll be giving it a V shape and cut out my marking. So I'm confirming, then cutting the shape out like you see me doing in the video. I went ahead to confirm if I still have my 16 inches for the front, and then give it a little shape. Like I said, I'm doing like a V shape in front. Can you see the kind of shape I have there? And so at this point, I just needed to place it on my clothes and see what I have so far. And it's really looking beautiful, guys. So it's at this point we have to go ahead to fold the sequence. So I'm folding the edges. I'll be using Emmy gum. Guys, if you want your clothes to be very neat and to be well finished, you need to use a lot of Emmy gum and do a lot of ironing. So I will be putting Emmy gum and fold the sides of the edge of the sequence. Sorry, so I'll be folding the edge of the sequence. And so this is what I have. After folding the edge part of the sequence, I'll place it on the Bubu, pin neatly, and then go and do like a stay stitch. Just use a stay stitch to hold both the sequence and the Bubu and the mikado material that I've already cut. Just use a stay stitch, take them to the sewing machine, use a stay stitch to hold them together. Okay, I've gone ahead to use the stay stitch to hold the sequence and the mikado material together, just the way I've explained. And then I've weaved through my facing around. And so the next thing I will be doing now is to put my facing right side facing right side. So that's why I had to mark the wrong side, because mikado actually doesn't have a wrong side. So right side facing right side, I will be pinning them down like so, and then take it to the sewing machine to sew half inch round for my neckline. Also, I'll go ahead and double fold the sleeve parts, okay, because that's where I'll be putting my elastic. So I'm making a casing for the elastic there. So I'm taking my half inch now, I'm sewing half inch round, and then I'm notching. So you have to notch your neckline so that it can relax. After notching, you can decide to top stitch. That is optional. If you want, you can go ahead to top stitch, but because I like to top stitch, I've gone ahead to top stitch. And guys, see my facing, see my neckline, see how relaxed and neat they are looking. So the next thing I will do now is to top stitch my facing, because I don't want the facing to be popping out later, so I'll be top stitching. But then I won't top stitch on the sequins. I will carry the sequins up while I'm top stitching around. Okay, guys. And so after top stitching, that is when I'll go ahead to now stitch the sequence at the right side of the cloth. So I will just top stitch the sequence also. So guys, see what we have. I've gone ahead to top stitch my facing first, then the sequence after. See how neat and clean the neckline is looking. So guys, I've gone ahead to fold the sleeve like I explained. I've made the elastic casing, and now the next thing to do is to mark the places we'll be tacking. So we'll be tacking some places on the sleeve so that I can give it the fullness. So this is how I'm going to get how many inches I'll be tacking. Remember, we cut a total of 28 inches length for our sleeve, okay? And then I've already folded 1 to 1.5 inch for my elastic casing. So I'll be removing my shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches. And so now I'll be having 18 inches remaining. But I want my sleeve length to be 12 inches in total. So by the time I remove 12 from 18, so I will have 6 inches extra remaining. So that means I'll be folding 6 inches in all. But I want to have 2 tacking on my sleeve, okay? So what I will just do is to share it anywhere I want the 3 inches to be, and then I'll be folding it on top. So that's basically what I did on this clothes. So probably from my sleeve length, after I've marked the 8 inches shoulder point, I will just mark, maybe from my sleeve length, I mark like 3 inches, then take that 3 inches that I told you that will be sharing. 3 inches will be sharing. So I'll share there, then go down a little and mark another 3 inches so that I can have 2 tackings in all on my sleeve. Then we are not tacking one place, so we're not tacking only the shoulder tip. We also tack the side so that everywhere can balance up, it can relax well, okay? So I'll also go to the side and take the same 3 inches and then tack it. So I'm just using my pin to hold it, like you can see me. So I'm holding with my pin, and then I will do the same thing at the other side. And that means I'll be having 6 tackings on one sleeve. 2 will be at the shoulder tip, 2 at one side, and 2 at the other side. So I'll be having 6 tackings on one sleeve, okay? Then I'll do the same thing on the other sleeve. So now I've gone to the sewing machine to tack down the one on the shoulder tip. Just tack it down like so. It's time to fix the elastic. So I'll measure my round bicep, my round arm, and then I'll cut out the measurements. I'll cut the elastic out, and then I will use my safety pin to pass it through that casing. Remember the casing we made? I'll just use my safety pin to pass it through and do the same thing at the other sleeve. I will have to tack down the elastic so that it's not going to pull out when I'm sewing later. I can just use a stay stitch to hold the elastic down, okay? And so the next thing I will do now is to join the sides together. I can take half or 1 inch depending on how big or how shapy you want them to be. So I'll just take my allowance, sew the sides all round. I'll sew the 2 sides together. I will be joining them, both the back and front together. Then I will hem the down part. So after hemming, I'll go ahead to overlock all the rough side, and my dress is ready, guys. If you enjoy watching this video, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye.